Hello and welcome to another Steps of Sussex channel episode. It has been a little moment. It has been a while. And let me just clear my throat. By the way, that is not corona. I have just had a little bit of a not a cough, just a bit of a clearing of the throat. Anyway, so I've been away. You know that I've been away in London over the past, well, I went for actually 3 days, but that was a couple of weeks ago now. And I decided during that time to concentrate, editing those vlogs, getting everything put out there across all my different channels and platforms. Also, behind the scenes, I'm redesigning a lot of my channels and platforms and social medias. So I decided to take a little bit of downtime from making videos and in particular doing live chats. So I am back. It is September. The royals often go back to work in September. And here we are with the news that Harry and Meghan have signed what is being described as a megawatt deal. Now, I'm not entirely sure what megawatt means. It's a term that's been used in the press. I'm imagining it has a lot to do with how much money they think that Harry and Meghan are going to make out of all of this. And there has been some wild speculations as to how much money this deal is worth. Some people have said 50 million, some people have said 100 million, some people have said 150. I've heard as high as 300 million over the next potentially up to about 5 years. The truth is, the fact of the matter is, we do not know. Nobody actually knows how much money this deal is actually worth. But we do know Harry and Meghan released a statement to the media, obviously to announce this and confirm it, that the long-held rumours, by the way, this has been rumoured for a very, very long time, that Harry and Meghan were going to do something in the sort of television, media, film world and sphere. Of course, as you know, when they would try to protect Sussex Royal, and now they've tried to protect the Archewell Foundation, a lot of what they try and trademark against is use of all these different things, from different things of merch all the way through to television, magazines. Well, obviously, they did have a plan for what they want to do post stepping down as senior royals from being members of the royal family. They have to earn money at some point from somewhere, and we all knew that that moment was going to come. Obviously, they have been doing previously a little bit of public speaking. Again, we do not know how much money they personally made from that. Meghan has narrated for Disney Plus. However, the fees from that went to charity, so she didn't actually earn any money for herself from there, although that money did go to charity. So, you know, eventually they've got to start making money for themselves. Part of the reason of why they wanted to leave the royal family was to become financially independent. That's just one of the reasons. So, people shouldn't be too surprised when they actually turn around and announce projects that they are going to do. Now, of course, these projects will be, as promised, you know, in keeping with the standards and values of Her Majesty the Queen. So we also have confirmation in this statement, which I'll read parts of in a moment, that Harry and Meghan themselves do not plan to actually be in front of the camera, although, you know, that doesn't rule out maybe voiceover work potentially in the future. This is a live chat as well, so I will be reading as many viewer comments as I possibly can. So hello to all of those in the room right now. Right, I am going to go first of all to a article that was written about this. Now, this obviously includes parts of that statement. So, Harry and Meghan have signed a multi-year production deal with streaming giant Netflix. Now, this was originally reported, I think, in the New York Times, although Harry and Meghan did release a statement to say, obviously, that is true and correct. They are expected to create content that will include scripted shows, children's programs, documentaries, and feature films. Now, going back to the multi-year production, again, you know, how many years is multi-year? All we know is multi-year to me is more than one. By the way, I'm going to tilt my glasses because There you go. If I tilt them, it looks a bit weird from the side, but at least you can't see the glare. Anyway, so we don't know quite what's meant by multi-year, although obviously multi-year is more than one. So Harry and Meghan said, our focus will be on creating content that informs, but also gives hope. Now again, that is very on brand, on message with the direction that they have already been showing since stepping down. So yeah, they've founded a currently unnamed production company. By the way, what do you think they're going to call this company? Will it be... I mean, I don't think it'll be part of Archewell. So I don't know. The Obamas founded one called Higher Ground, which we'll talk about in a moment. So let me know in the comment section, or if you're watching live, what do you think Harry and Meghan might call their new production company? Or what do you think they should or are going to? I don't know. Maybe it'll be initials, maybe it'll be something connected, something inspirational, a little bit like Higher Ground. I really don't know. Anyway, as part of the deal, the Sussexes are set to produce docu-series, feature films, scripted shows and children's programming for obviously the streaming platform of Netflix. Now, Netflix, I think at the moment is one of those big companies. I think it has something like close to 200 million subscribers worldwide. They have the money. They have the money to be able to finance deals like this. I think way back when, I'm remembering that when asked, that I think the managing director of Netflix was asked about would he like to work with Harry and Meghan, and he said at the time, of course, you know, I'd love to work with them. Well, it seems that that has come to fruition. So they want to highlight similar issues and themes that will be reflected through their non-profit organisation Archewell. And apparently there are already several projects in the works, including an innovative nature docu-series. That sounds really interesting. And an animated series that celebrates inspiring women. I mean, just taking that, you know, we know that Meghan has already, you know, worked with Disney Plus when she narrated Elephant. I mean, what will it be? I really have no idea. And also an animated series that celebrates inspiring women. Could that be part of the children's programming? I'm thinking animation may lead itself to maybe children's programming, maybe trying to get in there, you know, with young people, trying to you know, push inspiring and different people. I'm thinking that could be possibly the children's part, although who knows. But yeah, inspiring women. The Netflix deal comes 6 months, of course, after Harry and Meghan decided to step down as senior working royals. Now, Bazaar.com is confirming that Meghan will not be appearing as an actress in any of the upcoming projects, and that both Meghan and Harry are committed to ensuring diverse hires in front of and behind the camera for their productions. So, the makeup of their production company will be diverse. It will celebrate people, I imagine, of all genders, all sexualities, all races, all denominations of what you could possibly imagine. So they are committed to ensuring diverse hiring, which I think is really good. So this is the quote, the direct quote from Harry and Meghan's statement. So, our focus will be on creating content that informs but also gives hope. As new parents, making inspirational family programming is also important to us. They also added that Netflix has an unprecedented reach and a massive audience that's currently at 193 million subscribers. They say it will help us share impactful content that unlocks action. So I think that's a phrase to remember. Impactful content that unlocks action. So there we go. Now obviously I've spoken about some previous TV ventures since having stepped down. Disney Plus with Meghan narrating Elephant, and of course Harry has already appeared advertising Netflix documentary Rising Phoenix, which highlights stories of Paralympic athletes. Now, the co-chief executive, Ted Sarandos, said, this is what he commented: "We're incredibly proud that they have chosen Netflix as their creative home and are excited about telling stories with them that can help build resilience and increase understanding for audiences everywhere." And there we have it. That is the news so far, all of what we know so far about it. Yeah, I'm just looking to see if there's anything else that I've missed, and I don't think there is. No, that is all. So I'm going to return to the comment section and see what people are saying. Karen says, Harry would never talk about his family. No, I don't think he's going to in any upcoming work. Lauren says the word non-profit I really don't get. They have to profit somewhere. Well, we spoke about these non-profit things before, and there are things around them where there's rules and regulations that only so much has to be donated and all the rest of it. So until it actually is set up properly, and those accounts are in the UK financial accounts and records are put in the public domain. So until we actually see the accounts, we aren't going to know the true makeup of what Harry and Meghan's non-profit organisation is actually going to be. So I think we need to reserve judgment on that one until that information is actually available. There's no point speculating on it without there being any actual information from it. Farius says, damn, I thought something happened to you. Great to see you back. No, I was just taking a well-needed break. I realised that I hadn't actually taken a break in 5 years. Really. So yeah, I took about a week off. Although, to be fair, I think I took a little bit of a Meghan break, and that is, wait for it, the sort of break that Meghan takes is what I'm trying to say. Because when Meghan, had different breaks, when she had some downtime when she was pregnant, when she had the downtime when she was in Canada before they made the announcement, she was doing work behind the scenes, and that is exactly what I have been doing. I've been taking the sort of break that Meghan takes, where you have a bit of a break, but you end up kind of working behind the scenes. Anyway, that's what I've been doing. So yeah, now I know what Meghan feels like when she's on a break from something. Just carry on working. Anyway, I'm back. So I'm back doing live chats from now on. I will backtrack in a few days' time, and I'll talk about some of the stories that I've missed, like some of the different engagements that Harry and Meghan have been on. So I will go back and backtrack on those. But today we are talking about obviously this Megawatt deal, of which we only know a little bit about. So the thing that people are comparing it to is the model that the Obamas, Barack and Michelle, what they have done post-presidency. And I actually think, looking at it, from what I know about it, it seems to be quite a good model, because you can draw on your kind of philanthropic work, what kind of moral values you have, your humanitarian position, and you can turn that into something which helps and inspires a new generation of people in a creative way. But also it makes you money personally as well. I mean, the Obamas have got to live, Harry and Meghan have got to live. Obviously they formed the Obama Foundation, but the Netflix part, if I just read a little bit of information about their higher ground. So on May the 22nd, 2018, they signed a deal to produce docuseries, documentaries and features for Netflix under the Obama's newly formed production company, Higher Ground Productions, that should be. Speaking about the deal, Michelle said, I have always believed in the power of storytelling to inspire us, to make us think differently about the world around us, and to help us open our minds and hearts to others. Higher Ground's first film, American Factory, won the Academy Award for Best Documentary Feature in 2020. So there we go. I mean, obviously we don't have any confirmation, but I am sure, Harry and Meghan may have had a few tips from the Obamas on their sort of model post-presidency of going forward. Now, a little bit more information about Higher Ground. So, on August 21st, they released American Factory. Then in March, it was Crip Camp. Now, by the way, these are films. Then on 6, it was Becoming. And then July 29th, Michelle has launched the Michelle Obama podcast with Spotify. There has also been talk about Harry and Meghan potentially linking up with Spotify. Surprise, surprise. Now, I don't know if this is kind of just a guess by the press or not, just because the Obamas have done it, just because Michelle's done it. But yes, Michelle has got her own podcast. I confess I haven't seen any of those feature films that Higher Ground have produced, and I haven't listened to the Michelle Obama podcast. However, if the press is speculating just on the basis that Michelle has her own podcast with Spotify, you can see why they would make that connection, seeing as Harry and Meghan have gone down the same route with starting their own film production company in the same vein. So, will Harry and Meghan be producing their own podcast on Spotify? We don't know. The simple fact is we don't know. At this point, it is just speculation, but it is speculation that is being widely spoken about. So it's something just to put there in a box on the shelf in your head that perhaps in the future they could be doing a podcast. Let me know if you think they will be doing a podcast in the future. Also, we do not know exactly how much money Higher Ground have received from Netflix, how much that deal is worth from the Obamas. If you know the exact amount, let me know. But as far as I'm aware, I don't know the exact amount of money that deal was worth. Also, I don't quite know how the funding works. So let's just say Netflix. Let's take the bottom figure for a moment. Let's just say Netflix have given them 50 million for 5 years to produce so many programs or so many things per year. Does that 50 million, does the production of those shows have to come out of that 50 million? Therefore, meaning that the 50 million wouldn't actually be profit in Harry and Meghan's pocket. I'm speaking hypothetically when it comes to numbers, because we do not know the numbers. But I'm just trying to make it easy. So, is the 50 million what Harry and Meghan get to keep themselves, with additional money for the production of the shows? Or does whatever that deal is worth have to cover the production and the setting up and the creating of the content? I'm not entirely sure. I would be very interested to see exactly what a deal of this nature looks like. So if anyone knows anything, if anyone has a link, that maybe I've overlooked, do let me know. But it is intriguing to kind of, figure out how these deals actually work, actually what the content of the deal is. So, let's just say the deal was 150 million. Like I say, is that what Harry and Meghan actually get as income? Or is it what they have available to spend on the productions? I'm not entirely sure on that one. Maybe someone else might know a little bit more about how these deals work, because they are very, very big numbers to a lot of people. Right. Mercury Angel says, especially the British tabloid, they are brutal. Yes, I've already seen lots of negative stories about Harry and Meghan signing with Netflix, and I've also, seen some of the comments. If you're brave enough to read the comments, I'm not going to repeat them here. But yes, there are a lot of negative people commenting and putting their 2 pennies worth in. Kerry Young says, I am pleased they will pay off Frogmore without British taxpayer money. As far as I am aware, the Rental Plus deal still exists. So they are paying, I think it was something like £20,000 a month over the next up to 10, no, was it about 12 years? So as far as I'm aware, that hasn't changed. They will continue to pay that off monthly rather than as a lump sum. However, you know, that could change in the future. Once they have a lot of disposable money, they may choose to just pay it off in one big lump. Who knows? KD says, don't worry, they are getting a lot of money. I am sure they will. I mean, let's put it this way. They've got to fund their lifestyle somehow. So this always seems, going back, way back to some of my earlier chats on whichever channel, I forget which channel it was, but we did speak about possibly how Harry and Meghan could earn money. And one of the things we spoke about was maybe producing content. Obviously, we didn't know any details of who and what for, but obviously it's transpired that that has come to fruition, and it is indeed Netflix that they are signed with. Lauren says, I don't think they wanted out of the tabloid media, they wanted out of the UK tabloid media, which each to their own on their opinion on that. Yeah, I mean, whatever people's opinion, they are still in the British tabloid media. The British tabloid media haven't stopped talking about them. Obviously, they have stopped communicating with who they consider to be the tabloid press. But the UK tabloid press are still talking about Harry and Meghan. Katie says, who cares how much they are getting at the end? They are making money at the end of the day. They are. And it is true. They will be obviously making enough money to live off. And obviously this is probably only part of how they'll be doing that. This is only one aspect. If they sign with Spotify, that will be a separate amount of money, and whatever else they may choose to get behind. Yeah, they have to cover their monthly expenses. They do indeed. KD says, is Andrew paying back his rent money? He paid over, I think it was £7 million to renovate Royal Lodge. And I think he bought a lease as well. So there is no rent money involved in it. Dahlia says, I still feel bad that they have to pay back Frogmore since this property belongs to the Crown Estates and the funds used to renovate came from the Crown Estates. They can pay rent. That is what they have chosen to do. They have chosen to pay that back. Right. I think that was all that I wanted to speak about on this particular subject. So we have 173 people watching now. I would really appreciate it if you gave this video a thumbs up. I think I've covered pretty much everything that we need to talk about at the moment. Oh, by the way, if you go over to my Royal Reviewer channel, I have recently, today in fact, posted a video where you get to see inside Kensington Palace, and you get to see Harry's mother, Diana's iconic Travolta dress. I was there. I actually got to see it with my own two eyes, so if you're interested in that, hop on over and you can get to see that over there. Right. Oh, thank you for the picture comments as well. Yes, I do have a new picture up. Obviously, this is my dining room, but I quite like to film here. It's quite nice to film here. Right. So I think that is all today. As I said, I am going to backtrack in a few days and do a video covering all the things that I've missed while I had a little bit of a break. So if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to share on social media, and also, of course, do hit the bell so that you know whenever I upload a new video. So from me in Shropshire, mwah, to you all, and goodbye.